My name's Seville, and today I'm going to teach you how to do the Faro shuffle. Okay, so let's talk about the grip for the Faro shuffle. You're going to take your dominant hand and split off roughly half the cards. It doesn't need to be perfect, but just split off about half the cards. And now put the half that you cut off into your non-dominant hand like this, and take the other half that you did not split off from the top and square it against the other packet so there's no air. And what I mean by air is that there is no space between the cards. You see how there's no gaps of air between the cards here? They're all perfectly squared next to each other, which is exactly what you want to make the Faro shuffle work. But yeah, that is the basic grip for the Faro shuffle. And I'll recap that once again. Take your dominant hand and cut off roughly half the cards like this. Put them into your non-dominant hand and take the other half that you did not split off that was left on the table and square it against the packet like this. And then you're ready for the next part, which is the weave of the cards. Alright, I'm gonna be honest, this is the hardest part of the Faro shuffle, the weave, but I'll try my best to explain how to do it. Again, split half the cards with your dominant hand and put them in your non-dominant hand as discussed before. And now take the other half, and this is really important to make sure there is no space between the cards. Otherwise, that's going to make it very challenging to execute the weave correctly. After they're pushed together though, align them so they're straight, and then kind of tilt the dominant hand a little ways to the right, and next you are going to apply very light pressure and the cards will start to weave very slowly like this. And the hardest part is figuring out the right pressure to apply to the cards so that they bridge properly. But that is essentially the idea, and just try and get a smooth weave throughout. I don't know if the camera can pick this up, but see how that's a nice even weave throughout? And that is the weave for the Faro shuffle. Again, it'll take a lot of practice, but just practice that part over and over again. And now let's talk about the final step, the bridging or cascade of the colors. Okay, if you've made it this far, I assume you've learned how to grip the cards and how to weave the cards. So, grip the cards as before and weave them as before for this next step, the bridge of the cards. And once they're weaved together like this, you're going to square the packets up from the middle so that they don't split, and push the packets in just a hair so that they don't unweave when you're trying to bridge. And this is kind of the position for bridging the cards, with your ring finger, middle finger, pointer kind of at the middle of one of the packets, and your thumb is actually at the back of the top card And next, apply pressure with both hands, kind of like this. And what creates the bridge is the release of pressure. So that is how the bridge works for the Faro shuffle. And that is essentially how the Faro shuffle works. So once again, the grip is like this. Make sure to square your packets against each other like this. Make sure there's no air, and then push them together on an angle so they weave like this, and then bridge the cards like we discussed before. And sometimes a card might fly out, but if you do the grip right, it'll look just like I bridged the cards, and that's exactly how you want it. I thought I'd leave you with a few tips on making the Faro shuffle easier, because it is definitely not an easy sleight. First of all, understand that this takes practice. You're not going to get it in one day. It'll take constant repetition, and it is definitely amazing when you pull it off. Secondly, make sure to use a newer deck of cards. The cards are smoother and therefore easier to weave the cards. And lastly, have patience, and you'll see that you make progress over time as you practice each move nice and slow. Thanks so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to leave a like and consider subscribing to the channel as well. I post card magic content and sleight of hand every single Saturday. And until next time, I will see all of you guys in the next one.